Hi, and welcome back to Digitized. I'm Mark DeSchweinitz, president of the Social Media Club, Great Lakes Bay. Today on Digitized, we'll be talking about social media engagement, which is really what social media is all about. It's what differentiates social media between traditional one-way push marketing. Today, to help us discuss this topic, I've invited three guests. Let me introduce you to them. We have Eric Joyce. Eric is the social media coordinator for Central Michigan University, CMU. Eric, thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Yeah, great. And next to Eric is Jeff DeHaven. Jeff is the social media impressionist. I'm not sure what that means, but we'll find out pretty soon. For F.P.Horak and Company. Jeff, thanks. Great to have you.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
All right. And next to Jeff is Bryson Hotop. Bryson does the social media for the big brothers and big sisters of the Midland area,
Great Lakes
Bay region.
Yes.
And he also has his own company that he started called Grow Social, which focuses on social media for nonprofit organizations. So Bryson, great to have you as well.
Thank you.
So first I'm going to start out, before we go into our topic of social media engagement, to learn a little bit about each of our guests and kind of how they came to the position they're in and what they do, how they use social media. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Eric. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do with Central Michigan University?
Sure. I work for Central Michigan University's global campus, which that encompasses everything CMU that's outside of Mount Pleasant. So we have more than 50 centers worldwide, mostly United States, at several military bases, and a few in Ontario, and one in Mexico as well. We also help promote all of the online programs, and through an academic sense, we have all the online programs that we offer to our students in undergraduate degrees, bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral. So we have a lot of variety there. But I started in social media. I started about a year and a half ago. Came from working in the newspaper industry, worked for the Saginaw News previously, and took those communication skills and wanted to bring it back to my alma mater, which is CMU. I graduated in 2009, and have started there and loved everything I've done there since, and doing what I can to help grow the social media space there.
Yeah, that's great. And have you found a close connection between the newspaper business and social media, or what are some of the differences you've noticed?
What I've seen and what I've always kind of told other folks is that an effective lead in a newspaper story really should catch the attention of the reader, because you want to try and get them engaged and involved in the story. And I think a typical tweet or Facebook post or anything like that, you really have to employ the same tactics. You only have so many characters, 140 on Twitter as an example, and you've got to use those available characters to help engage someone in whatever you're trying to promote or share. So by and large, through Facebook or Twitter and all that, it's usually a link or something, or photo or something you want to share, and using those same tactics as you would with a newspaper story.
So the headline
really,
and the attention grabber.
Yeah, and you want to have something that is the attention grabber, right? Because you want to filter them through to whatever content you want to share with your audience.
Okay, great. Thanks, Eric.
Yep,
we'll
thank
get back to our main topic in a minute here. And Jeff, tell us a little bit about what you do. What is a social media impressionist?
Well, they took it from F.P.Horak has 6 divisions. One of them is called Horak Creative Group, which is their advertising agency. So everybody's title is and interferes with that and complements that. So what I do at F.P.Horak is help promote their 6 divisions through their social media channels, and then also any of their clients, help them manage the social media, come up with effective campaigns, also do training and things like that. So.
Okay, and what brought you to the company?
Well, it's actually, they have the Great Lakes Bay magazine. I was looking to advertise in that for my own company that I had. And through that, we made the connection, and they didn't know that there was, social media services that can be utilized in this market. So we started talking more, and that's how we partnered together to do social media services for their clientele. So it worked out very well.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that was fortuitous. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. Bryson, tell me a little bit about, let's start with the big brothers and big sisters. What brought you there, and what do you do with them in social media?
Okay, absolutely. Well, for Big Brothers Big Sisters, I came on board as an intern through Dow Chemical and Northwood University. Dow partnered with Northwood to hire interns for marketing and social media for various nonprofits around the area. Instead of just giving them money, giving them actual sustainability help. So I came on with Big Brothers Big Sisters through that to develop a long-term social media strategy based off of their organizational market strategy. So that's what I did for my first couple months there. After that, running the social media, our Facebook, Twitter, recently redid the website to make it more user-friendly and tie in with our social media pages.
Okay. And what are some of the goals that the Big Brothers Big Sisters has in social media? Like, what type of people do they want to connect with and engage with?
Definitely volunteers is one of the big ones.
Okay.
If we don't have volunteers to mentor our kids, then our organization ceases to function.
Okay.
So that's our primary focus, is to engage the community, to really get people who may not know about us or might be on the fence about mentoring, to really give them, quality reasons to get into it, because it's really easy. So that's our main focus.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like a great medium to share and spread the word. And it's really easy. Everybody's on Facebook, so I think they're anticipating their billionth user registered in the next few months. That's what I heard. So, how about the Grow Social? How did you start this company, and what's the purpose of that?
Yeah, Grow Social actually came out of a conversation with a coworker of mine. There are several nonprofits that are smaller nonprofits. They have an aging volunteer base. And really, my generation is not hooked up with them because either they don't know about the organization, they don't know what the organization does, or they just don't care. So Grow Social was really started to partner with a lot of those nonprofits who don't necessarily have the resources for a full-time social media manager. They don't have the resources or the expertise to give social media to one of their current staff. So what I decided to do is I can step in and fill that void and offer an affordable and effective solution for those nonprofits to bring them really into my generation and to make them relevant to the community.
All right, sounds good. So let's dive into our topic tonight of social media engagement. I have experience with this of posting things on Facebook and you don't get any likes or responses, and then another day you post something and there's 20 people that comment about it, and sometimes you wonder, why do people like this comment versus nobody likes that one? So I'll throw this out to you, Jeff. What's your experience with engagement, and why do you think some comments or posts, tweets are shared more than others?
What I've learned from different trial and error is you really got to monitor what time of day that your fans are going on to your page. Also, what type of the week as well. So once you can kind of figure that out, you want to post during those times. That gets you the most interaction.
Okay.
Also, what I've seen is more people enjoy pictures and videos than just text.
Right.
So if you can throw something in there that initially grabs their eye, and then they can follow up and read the text that goes with it, that seems to deliver more engagement than just content.
Right, that's a good point. So time of day and the type of content, photo, video, etc. So yeah, what do you think, Eric?
And certainly the time of day, that's a huge thing that a lot of people will miss, because especially if you're working professionally, you think that, okay, I'm going to start the day at 8 o'clock and I leave at 5, and so I'm going to post sometime in there. Well, depending, and for every single organization or business, your audience will be, it's a little bit different. So for example, if you have an audience of working professionals, maybe sometime in the evening, towards the end of the day, may be more effective, or maybe even during the lunch hour when folks are taking a break and maybe surfing on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or one of those platforms. And the other factor, especially with Facebook, everybody always says, well, how come I can't get likes and comments on my Facebook post? Well, Facebook employs the EdgeRank algorithm, which is their fancy algorithm for determining what appears in the news feed. And there's multiple factors, one of which being, of course, the time. So if it's more recent, it's more likely to appear in the news feed. The weight, which is the number of comments or likes or shares that particular object receives. And also relevancy is the last. And so that is, did the Facebook user have a previous interaction with you or your brand? So that means that if you have someone that repeatedly likes or comments on posts from that particular page, more likely they'll see something from that Facebook page. And so that's where I think for a lot of businesses and organizations, the strategy not only is to meet your goals as an organization, but also provide some content that's engaging so that they want to like and comment. That way you build that relevancy ranking so that later on they'll see your posts.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You might have something really valuable you want to post, but you haven't built up that relevancy with the EdgeRank algorithm. And do you think that algorithm is different for personal posts versus business pages, or do you know how that works?
I'm not entirely sure. I would say it's probably pretty similar, because I just know from my own personal experiences that I have a lot of friends that, since I interact and comment with on a regular basis, I see more of their content. Also, Facebook may or may not, see, they don't really tell you the specifics on what are all the factors other than those kind of key areas. You can generate lists, and also lists of like close friends personally. And that has a factor as well, because if you name someone a close friend on your Facebook within a list, you're more likely to see that as well.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, but for businesses and organizations, a lot of what Facebook is pushing for business, and it can be difficult for smaller businesses especially, is sponsoring posts through paid advertising as well. Yeah. They really want to get a lot of people there to start doing so for obvious reasons, but by doing so, you can enhance your overall reach, so overall number of Facebook users that see that particular post.
Right.
And there's a variety of options for full-scale campaigns to just promoting individual posts and only spending $5, $15, $75 if you have something really important that you want to make sure your fans will see.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. And I've noticed that you can pay to have a sponsored post, and you can also, when you post something, you can pay to have it show up in more people's news feed. There's a couple of options there that we can work with. So Facebook's trying to find more ways for us to pay.
Right.
And I did notice on a personal note that if you post something with a word like anniversary in it, it's going to show up to on more people's news feed. I didn't really realize that, but some of my posts will show up on more of my friends' news feed than others, probably because of keywords in there. So, Bryson, what's your experience with Big Brothers and Big Sisters and engagement? Can you think of a time when you posted something and a lot of people engaged with it or didn't, and
absolutely.
What you learned?
These guys touched on it. Definitely pictures.
Pictures. Right.
Any picture that we post on Big Brothers Big Sisters automatically will get comments and many likes. It's pretty much a given. The pictures we post are typically of our matches, sometimes staff. So people have that emotional connection. I think what we found is we have to create content that's relevant to our audience, not just in that relevancy ranking, but that's from a psychological and sociological standpoint. If people don't care about the content that you're posting, they could see it all day long, but nothing's going to happen. So you have to make it so that they want to do something about the information that's presented to them. A Forbes study last year found that 70% of social media users are just consumers. So all they do is look at their newsfeed and read it, and they don't interact at all. So definitely making content that's relevant. So when they're match anniversaries for us, or like a staff member's birthday, or there was Administrative Assistant Appreciation Day a couple months ago. We posted a picture of our office manager, and we got a ton of feedback from that. And it wasn't anything necessarily to do with Big Brothers Big Sisters, but it got a lot of people to see that we do care about our staff, and we're real people.
Right.
So definitely, pictures are huge, and making the content relevant to the audience that you're trying to reach, so that they'll actually do something with the information that they're presented.
Yeah, that makes the relevance is huge. I mean, if you're getting things in your news feed that you don't care about, you're going to stop reading them and replying. So you said 70% of people don't interact at all, means they don't like or comment anything like that.
Yeah, they're on Facebook and they read stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they really don't do much. Maybe with their friends a little bit, but certainly not pages.
Right. So that's hard for us to measure then. If you're posting things and people are